Yeah. So as I just mentioned that there are the three technologies, the market leading, and we have this yes, cybersecurity and other stuff also. But yes, like as a operation engineers point of view and some development activities point of view, but instead of getting worried about too much on like a data scientist and all that, yeah, these are all some technologies which are available in the current market. So DevOps, MLOps, LLM apps, or we have that extension to this LLM ops also. So if I just conclude that one more point here, LLM ops also. Maybe the current market is still, it is not that much, but yes, next generations, definitely we can say the next generation. Yeah, don't worry, all those points will conclude it. What are the prerequisites and what are like the dependencies which we have, so don't worry about it. Suppose you are non-IT and you are looking just to step into that IT, then my recommendation is first learn it about that DevOps as a fresher. If you're the fresher and if you're having this non-IT background or if you're working already non-IT industry, so my recommendation is so DevOps and extend the next with MLOps. These two things that is recommended for non-IT, either fresher or experienced. Suppose you are already working this on the DevOps side, then you can look it about that MLOps. So if you know already DevOps, then you can extend this about your the next level of this generation into the current market to sustain it. MLOps, because DevOps, everyone knows about it. This is a DevOps, like last almost 10 years, we have this in the market. So already we have the web applications are, web application to support it. DevOps seniors are already available in the market. But now, if you just observe the current market trend, which is coming that data science engineers, you see that wherever like AI or ML or data science. So most of like the recruitment which is happening on this side, right? Data side, data management. What is the data scientist? The existing data we have this last 35 years of that industry, we have those applications and like on the different domains, like a telecom domain, healthcare domain, banking domains, insurance domains, financial domain, supply chain management. So in all the domains, we have the data now, but the data models to define it, data engineers, that is data scientists are working that. But for those data scientists, how do we support it in the operation side? That is MLOps. Yeah, they design the models, data models. Those models, how do we deploy to the production? That is with the life cycle process. DevOps, if you have an idea, but don't worry. So anyway, I'll talk at all those points, but yes, just understand the first high level. So DevOps, this is, we support the DevOps point of view. If you're learning the DevOps is nothing but, we have the web developers, right? Web developers, like websites who build it using like a Python or Java or a .NET, Node.js. So using these technologies, what are the websites they are designing that? Those websites to manage it to the production deployment and release process management. Web developers plus operation engineers. So that is, but we are not like web developers. We support the development team by implementing that. The CI/CD process, we have some lifecycle mechanisms, automation mechanisms, scalability approaches. Yeah, websites who are implementing, that is website designing, or even like mobile applications also, like Android-based applications or iOS-based applications who are working that. So if you are going to manage those applications with the production lifecycle, we say that DevOps you need. So already we have this web application from last 35 years, like almost 1995 onwards, the distributed architecture has come into the market, the 1990s. So DevOps, which was launched from the almost 10 years and which is already occupied in the market. So we have the sufficient resources to handle the DevOps resources. But next applications which we have this in the current market is data science projects. So data science projects plus which we have like machine learning or AI. So we have the engineers who are implementing that these data science models. But how you are going to support it, like a production lifecycle to define it for these type of applications? Yeah, data scientist engineers or machine learning engineers who are using their algorithms to define the data modeling. So their objective is defining the data models. But the data models, how do we release it to the production environment? So before we are working or before we are supporting for that development team, but now we are going to support like operational activity side for the data scientists or machine learning developers. So how do you coordinate all these teams with operational activities? So that is machine learning operation units, MLOps. Are you following my points, everyone? But this one we'll discuss that deeply. So don't worry about it. This is some high level. So what is this DevOps? What is this MLOps? What is it important? Yes, so far we have that web applications in the market. Now, the next the generation which is moving to the data side. Like maybe you know that the chat GPT. So chat GPT, if you hit that the request, then that is going to set it on the existing data and it is going to give the better output, right? Google also is giving that output, but Google doesn't filter it. The best, the data which is available from all the sites. But a chat GPT, if you use it, so it is going to refer that all the websites which contain the data and it is going to filter that the best data and it is going to give that, right? But how the chat GPT is working? That is existing data, it is using that. But those models, how they are implementing that? Yeah, they are analyzing this on the existing data. What are the different data sources that's required to collect the data? And how do you optimize the data? How do you train the data? How do reinforcement the data? So data model techniques and algorithms, they use it. Who will use it? All the engineers which are available. But those engineers, once this data model has been implemented, but how do they release to the production? That is the next generation of the technologies. This is already available in the market. But to move into this, if you have this more idea on this, then that will be helpful. So first, non-IT, that you are belong to the fresher or experience. So my recommendation is DevOps and MLOps. Because we are almost into that data science environments or machine learning environments where we are performing that operational activities, or we are working as web developers, taking that help and defining their operations like CI/CD pipelines. So if you don't want to write that the big code as we are talking the data scientist, they should know algorithms. They should use that like data optimization techniques. data cleaning, data reinforcement. So many, but we don't want to all the stuff. That is DevOps and MLOps, which is going to help that. But once they have implemented these data scientists or AI or ML engineers, once they have implemented these programs, we are going to support that operation side. Operational engineers, yes, we should know some basic coding required, but that is not too much. And you don't need that big algorithms and all the stuff. Yeah, if this is about your category, like non-IT or you are the fresher or experience and where you are not willing to go for the coding level, these two technologies are recommended. If you know already DevOps, you can jump into the MLOps. Or if you don't know anything about that, but first just, yes, we need to go to the DevOps, then MLOps. DevOps you are learning is nothing but web applications. How do you manage it with the CI/CD pipelines? That is operational activities on it. Or if you're going to learn it about that, MLOps is nothing but we have the data models and those data models. So how you can optimize it, the release process models with versioning controlling, data versioning controlling, Git versioning controlling. We have the different solutions, ML flows. Using that approach, how do we manage it about that complete CI/CD flow? So this is about the overall, the concepts which we are going to learn it in the DevOps and MLOps. But if you are like a fresher from the technology side, like implementation side, you are good. And or if you are interested on this, like even experience with some coding interest. So you are good with that, or if you are not, I mean, even if you are belong to this category also, non-IT or the fresher or experience, but you have the willing to learn the coding. Coding is not a big challenge if you have that attitude. Then add that DevOps. Yeah, DevOps is the basic process, right? The basic process. That is the process model. And then let's go for that LLM apps implementation. The latest, the Python based, we have some like frameworks, like a LangChain framework, Streamline, Hugging Face. So how do you integrate the models, existing models, those models which are implemented by the data scientist? We are going to reuse those models and we are extending that on the top of that. That is another next generation of the technologies. That is generative AI. We are advanced to the next level. So next market, what are the kind of applications which are working, which are coming that? Yeah, already these things are going now. Data science and AML, these applications, yes, data models. Like if you talk it Llama 2 or Llama 3, or if you talk it like the Chat GPT, they're all the models which are helping about it. Large language models. But in that large language, we have the different processing the data. That is different story. But those applications, once it has come into the market, on the top of that, how do we implement about your customers related applications? Like best example, or let me give that some examples. Suppose RiseAncientTechnologies.com application. But that application, I would like to implement question and answer sections. Like maybe you can ask some question and you can get that answer, which belong to the my website. I'm not talking about the Google and all that. How do I implement like a question and answer section on my website? Or how do I implement it? Customer support, chatbots for my application. Or how do I implement it if I'm having some PDF files or invoice data? Summarization of the PDF file or summarization of that existing data. like we can say that summary. How to get that summarization? So you have that like 100 pages of the PDF file, but I don't have the time to read that all the 100 files. I need that within the 2 or 3 pages, complete summary of the book. How do I get it that? So if you'd like to implement on about your websites, or if you have like a PDF files of the CSV data, or chatbots to implement it, or question and answers kind of that application to implement it for about your customers, where you don't need that directly like a customer support team. The team, you can reduce it. That is a cost optimization. Now, like a generative AI, yes, AI is going to replacing the team. Definitely, some people are going to lose the jobs, no doubt at all. But who are going to get the jobs? Yes, who knows about that working on these models? Suppose if I have implemented the chatbot for about Rise and Shine Technologies application, I don't need that any customer support, right? So what are the basic questions which they have that? So all the questions that will be given by that chatbot itself. But if they need that any additional support, yes, they can call to that my customer care. Like in the banking industry or insurance, or like if you go to that any domain, customer support is the like big challenge to them. But they can reduce that by implementing these kind of the models in their application. So like there's so many examples here, like yeah, images generation or images reading and giving the summary of it, or if you have the video reading it and giving the summary of that the video. Suppose you have the 1 hour video, I don't have the time to go through the entire one hour video. Then get the summary on the video. So these kind of that next generation of applications, right? We have this already, web applications. This is done. But still, yes, we have that some implementation, but not completely, yes. But next we have the models implementation like ChatGPT, Llama 2, Google Bard. So there are like different models, but these models to implement it, these engineers required. That is data scientists or AI or ML. But on the top of the models, if you'd like to implement for about your internal applications, like question and answers kind of like the implementation or the chatbots implementation or summarizations on the videos or the PDF files or CSV data or videos generation or images generation. Or marketing strategies knowing that, yes, what's going to happen that like, I mean, existing data using that. So the predictions, the important thing. So these kind of like a next generation of applications, that is LLM apps, which we consider generative AI. But this is required some Python coding, and here also we'll talk it some the little bit Python. But here some more like special frameworks we will talk it, like OpenAI or Hugging Face frameworks or LangChain framework, Streamlit framework. There are all the different frameworks from the Python, which we will discuss that, and we go for how do we implement LLM based applications and how do we deploy those applications to the production. Are you getting my points? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Type the CLR in the chat window, everyone. I need that. Just think it or imagine that. Yes, we are going to lose the jobs, but who are going to lose the jobs? Who are already working this on the existing technologies? Like we can say this now, like marketing engineers or marketing team. Marketing team now, if you are going to use that these generative AI tools, you can suppose you have the 5 members from the market. Now you can simplify to that with the 2 members using the generative AI tools. Content writers, yes, you can write to the content also with these LLM apps. Before, like 4 or 5 members, if you are going to use it, now you can reduce that content writers to that 1 or 2 members. But those 1 or 2 members also, who knows these AI tools, how do we use it to generate the content, or how do we use it, especially the prompt engineering. Yes, if you know that the prompt engineering mechanisms, that is the next generation of that one kind of the requirement in the market. If you, I mean, in the chat GPT, we will write the prompt. Simple prompts, okay, that is not going to helpful. But if you know the techniques, how do you get it, like a best optimization output from the model? Like chat GPT is a model. From that model, I need to get the best results. But how do we get the best results? But to get the best results, you need to optimize about your prompt. That is a prompt engineering techniques. That is also, we are going to look into that in these LLM maps. So now you can think of that like on the basis of about your current the status and command on the coding. But here also required the coding. I'm not saying that the coding not required, but that is not too much. But here it can be manageable. But if you have the fear of the coding, then yes, these are all the 2 things that is recommended. DevOps, yes, that is basic things, whether you are going to move into that this generative AI or MLOps. So this process model is the basic one. But on the base of this next level of that interest, you can jump into that either MLOps or implementing that LLM based applications. That is the next generation. So is it clear to everyone? And now, like, can you conclude that? Which one do you prefer that? Do you belong to that category 1 or category 2? So what about your interest? I mean, that is, yes. I mean, first of all, on the basis of about your interest and like about your current state, you need to think of it, right? Taking that or choosing the technology. If you are a computer's background and if you are working on the coding, then my suggestion is this one. But if you have the fear of the coding and you have the confusion, but you need to get into that, the IT, if you're looking about it. So before we are talking to the DevOps, but these days DevOps is not sufficient to get the job. Well, DevOps, you can learn it, but you need to get finally the job also, right? DevOps engineers, yes, so many DevOps engineers are available in the market. But with this DevOps, and if you have the more grip on the Python, yes, we are learning that even the DevOps also with the complete Python application. So the Python development application, how do you manage it? First, we will discuss in the DevOps. Then we will move into that ML-based models. How do we define that? CI/CD with the continuous training models. Yeah, data training is very, very important here. So we can say the data engineers also indirectly, data operation engineers. So this is a very good demand in the current market. Everything data. So this is one kind of this requirement. So on the basis of about your current state, which you can decide about it. And this is another one, DevOps with LLM maps, learning that. That is generative AI. This is the next generation, no doubt at all. Next 5 years, the statistics which are showing about it, like so far in 2022, $14 billion. $14 billion that have been used for the generative AI application. But by 2030, what is the expectation is $145 billion is the investment that we are going to have it on these generative AI based applications. By 2030, that is the investment they are going to have it on this generative AI based application from the clients. So 2022 statistics, if you observe that, just like the $14 billion, that was investment. And now the models are coming out that by 2030, the expectation is $145 billion. on these generative AI based applications, which are included with ML also. Is it clear? Any queries, questions on this? Just let me know that. No, you should not ask this in the Telugu because because as the requirement, you should come up with that like the English, but don't go for this Telugu because facing the interviews and all that. Yes. So we are going to know about AWS along with the DevOps and MLOps. Yes. So if you are looking at the DevOps, yes, basic technology is what we are going to look in the says. Let me give that the high level also. Not a high level. Let me go ahead and let's open that the browser. Okay, so let me share the screen. So this is about our official site, like riseandshine-technologies.com. So I'm going to share it in the chart window. Yeah, Kavya, I'll come back to that about your point. Whatever you asked, what kind of algorithm mechanism we should be having the knowledge about. But here we are talking that as operation engineers on the MLOps side, we don't need that much algorithms knowledge. So you should know that yes, some classification techniques and the regression models and clustering models, but that is not required that much deep. We are not the developers of that MLOps, which we are going to teach it here. We are working like as once this model is available, then how do we define that? Or how you are going to help to the data scientists or machine learning engineers. So to deploy that application to the production, that is about the main goal, which we are learning in our agenda. But we discussed that some like regression models and classification models, but not that much into that. If we talk it in that's algorithm side. Yeah, if I join that's MLOps, that is DevOps plus MLOps. So let me show this the course content, what you are going to have it, and the tools and everything. Yeah, total 5 months course duration, 3 months DevOps, and 2 months that is MLOps. That is a 5 months required. Yeah, so what are like the main technologies which we are going to discuss? This is AWS core services, the GitHub, Docker and Kubernetes, which are required for the MLOps, and Python, which is required for the MLOps. We are going to discuss that. Some Python, the packages. And once this Python has been discussed, how to package the ML models. And once it has been packaged, then how do we manage that production deployment using ML flow? So we have that like a different strategies whenever you are releasing to the production. That is versioning approaches, packaging approaches, models management, registry management. So all these things that's we are going to talk it in that ML flow. And once the ML flow has been, the packaging has been done, how to build that those ML applications. Then CI, CD, CT for the machine learning applications. So using the Jenkins pipeline process models. And monitoring and debugging that's the machine learning. Yes, especially we are going to talk it like monitoring tools point of view, Prometheus and Grafana. And once these the applications are ready, how do we deploy these applications with the Docker Compose and monitoring about those applications and the post-production activities of the ML applications. So these are all like main activities with the DevOps, which has been included with the DevOps. As we are going to talk it, that's all these points. And here, if you go for this, yeah, you can refer that this video, MLOps apps roadmap, complete roadmap to get it. And this is the course content. So what about MLOps and its importance and AWS Cloud Essential Services, GitHub, Terraform, Docker and Kubernetes, working with the CI/CD pipelines using the Jenkins. So here we are going to talk it especially on the Python application, because the next generation, yeah, if you move into that like ML or AI or data science, one of like the main technology which they are using this is Python. So we completely concentrate the DevOps and MLOps with the Python. Yeah, project DevOps CI/CD process models and GitOps. Yeah, continuous delivery tool for the Kubernetes and Python programming for like yes, to understanding the Python some fundamentals and packaging models, ML flow, ML applications, how to build it, Jenkins monitoring activities, post production, and additional some bonus courses that is Linux and shell scripting. They're all like as a basic things whenever you are working with the Docker and Kubernetes. Yeah, which will deal that those as well as. Yeah, this is a complete course content the which you can find it for the MLOps engineer, DevOps and MLOps engineer. Is it clear to everyone? Yeah, Helm I will cover about it in the GitOps sections. DevSecOps like where the Docker linked to some packages which are available. Those we will talk it in the SecOps models point of view in the Docker whenever we are discussing that. And other security models, as code level security and all that, yes, which we'll discuss. But Docker images, which will use it, the linked approaches. Yeah, this is about ML ops, which is included with the DevOps and everything. And if you are looking about it, generative AI with the Python approaches. Yes, this is the course content for it. So Python with the generative AI engineer roadmap. And we provide that like a 1 year access to class videos as what are like a class videos which we are discussing that everything that will be given that the recorded videos. And yeah, this is also almost like 4 to 5 months that is required. Yeah, here also almost as we're talking, that's that like a DevOps process models required, AWS core services, GitHub, Docker containers, Python programming, and prompt engineering. Yes, mastering the prompt engineering and LangChain Python framework. Then how you can deploy that like application, like LLM applications on, I mean, using that AWS, how you can host the applications like SaaS, software as a service, which you can provide the services also. And here we will add it about some of the points on the LLM ops. Yeah, so there are like a course, the modules which will be given, AWS Git, Python, and Docker, prompt engineering, and SQL database, and LangChain Python framework, and Python for the data science engineers, and SaaS-based ML deployment with the Python, and LLM ops with the Langsmith. Yeah, this is completely LLM-based applications. How do we implement it? So once the DevOps has been discussed, but DevOps, some of the tools I have added, but the DevOps is which we'll discuss with the complete Python. Then that's Python applications with the Docker once it is discussed. Then how do you start working with that, like a prompt engineering and LangChain frameworks and SaaS based, how you can host or how you can provide the services to the customers. Because the small scale of that industries, they are expecting about it hosting their AI tools. Yeah, how you can host about your own AI tools. Suppose here in our Engine, if you just observe that, we have the some AI tools which are helping about it, resume crafting tools, resume crafting or blog management. Yes, if you like to prepare about your resume, we have given these tools. So these tools, they are like a SaaS based. Suppose you need to prepare about your resume, yes, generate about your resume. But you need to give that some inputs like which role you are going to, which role purpose you need that resume, the role, and what are the main key skills about your education details, about your internship program, or about your experience. If you add it all these details, and you can generate the resume from here itself. So this is LLM based, SaaS based service which has been given that. Backend it is using that LLM models like ChatGPT. Yeah, ML ops is, suppose if you just think about like ChatGPT. Do you know it, right? ChatGPT. Yeah, so here if you're using the ChatGPT is nothing but, so ChatGPT is one of the LLM model, large language model. So that is providing by that OpenAI team. So here, if you use this ChatGPT, this is, how they have implemented. So you are giving that the prompt and it is giving the response back. But response it is giving that is nothing but they have feeded all the data, right? Suppose if I type that the who are you? So it is giving the answer for that. I am ChatGPT, an AI language model. So it is saying that's AI language model. These language models, how do they implement it? That is machine learning, and as well as yes, AI models, they use it and they implement these language models, LLM models we'll call it. But using this model, suppose now if you come back to that, this resume crafting. So how how the Engine has been implemented this tool to provide to you? Give that about your role, give that about your key skills, give that about your education details, and all the details and craft about your resume now. So, but how it is going to generate that resume whenever you give all these details? So backend, this interface, it is using that the backend that is LLM model, that is ChatGPT. So now we are requesting that the ChatGPT back. So on the basis of this inputs, generating that the better prompting approaches and generating the result back. You got my point now. ChatGPT is the model which is providing by that OpenAI team, OpenAI. But using that OpenAI, we have implemented one of the tool as a customer requirement or for my students requirement. But how it has been implemented, this is the LLM app. But this LLM app internally it is using machine learning model, that is ChatGPT. You got the point now, the difference between that, these two. That is anyway, you will get it more points on this, the later. But this is a conclusion. So ChatGPT is a large language model. But using the ChatGPT, I have implemented my own AI tool. Yeah, there are like different tools. So you can generate like job skills, or you can generate the profile achievements, like the roles and responsibilities if you would like to define for about your resume. Yes. So whenever you enter all the details, it is going to use the backend, that LLM model. Suppose if you enter that, like suppose example, DevOps engineer. And what are the achievements? Then you can add it as a DevOps engineer. What are the roles you can perform? It is given that the roles examples, and you can take these Okay, you need to log into this, and you can use these roles, and you can add it in your profile. But these tools have been implemented using LLM-based applications. LLM-based applications that have been used to implement it. But this LLM-based application backend, which model it is using? LLM model, which has been implemented using that algorithms and everything. That is ChatGPT model. We have that like AI, machine learning, deep learning. So those are all points I will conclude it whenever we are going to talk about the generative AI. So generative AI is a subset of that, the machine learning. Even if you go for the more deep learning, we have that. So if you would like to implement the models, MLOps, but once that some models have been generated using the models and to implement like these kind of the tools, then you can use it LLM maps, like a question and answer based or chart boards or summary. Are you clear now these differences? Type the yes in the chart window if you understand the difference between these two, MLOps and LLM maps. So to implement these models, you need to know that more algorithms and more kind of like data, handling models, data cleaning, data reinforcement, and using that algorithms, regression, classification. That is developer, these data scientist developers or ML engineers, they work it on it. But on the top of these models, we are going to implement the LLM maps. So next, if you just think about it, ML ops is going to reuse that in the environment, right? Is machine learning models will be reused in these organizations. That is by using that LLM maps. That is the next generation. That is generative AI. Using these models, we will generate these kind of the question and answers models or chatbots or summaries or SaaS based. Now, now these days, if you just observe this in the market, we have so many AI agencies are coming into the market. AI agencies, but AI agencies, they use these models because they don't want to go for implementing from the scratch. Already we have these models. They use these models to provide that the better service or the better productivity to the customer by providing the SaaS based services. Is it clear to you, everyone? So in our course curriculum, first we are going to discuss about the DevOps, which is generic to the both MLOps or LLM maps. So once that is discussed on the basis of about your interest, you can jump into that MLOps or LLM maps. Or if you'd like to learn all that together, yes, you can learn it as well as. Let me give that the final, the course fees. Suppose if you need that only DevOps, so we have that the 15K. Or if you need that DevOps plus MLOps, that is 25K. And where we give that, like, if you have the interest, where you can join that generative AI also. So that is the additional course we will add it to you. And if you have that interest, you can either if you join that DevOps with the generative AI, you can join that MLOps also. So all the three together, if you need it, then total 25K. we can say that one of the course that is a bonus to you, but on the base of about your current knowledge, current the status, fresher from the non-IT background or experience, but you don't willing to go for the smooth coding level, or if you are the fresher who are having that like a computers background with the coding knowledge, or you are already working that's on the experience with the coding side, then you can consider on about your the next level of that the technologies, that is DevOps with MLOps or a DevOps with LLM maps. Or if you are having the capability to learn it all the three, yes, you can add it all the three. But all the three, that is 25K, the overall. Or if you know already DevOps, but you are looking at MLOps and with the generative AI, then that is a 15K. Or if you need that only MLOps, then you can add it like a 10K. MLOps plus Gen AI. But the DevOps is the prerequisite. If you'd like to directly join to that MLOps plus generative AI. And if you need that only something like you have the DevOps, but if you need that only MLOps, then that is a 10K. Is it clear on these pricing models? How many of you know already the DevOps? And prerequisites point of view, you don't need that any prerequisites. We deal from the scratch, the Linux, shell scripting, and then, but basically a system level understanding that is required, Windows system, some the basic that's knowledge. But no specific prerequisite. To use this to learn these technologies. We start from the scratch, and we will help you like up to getting this advanced level. And projects also you will be having that DevOps complete CI/CD pipeline and MLOps CI/CD project and AWS project and LLM ops here chatbots, how do you implement it, and question and answers, and here 5-6 projects, different use cases which we'll talk it and we'll implement that those projects with a complete LangChain framework. But to deploy that, we are going to use it AWS environment with the Docker and Kubernetes. So is it clear to everyone? Type that everyone. So quickly, I mean, I don't need that any attention from everyone. So just like ping me in the chat window. How many of you are active? I would like to see that. Okay, this is about course point of view. The course point of view, these are all like, I mean, the cost and everything. So if you take it like a 25K, all the three together, you can get it. And on the base of about your profile, we will prepare the resume and we will give it to you. Or if you are like, I mean, if you are specific to that, I don't need all this stuff and I need that only DevOps. Yes, you can join that only DevOps. Or I have already the DevOps, but I need that only MLOps. Yes, you can join that MLOps with the 10K. Or I know already DevOps, but I need that only LLM maps. Then you can join that with the 10K LLM maps. But all the three together, as like actually DevOps and MLOps itself 25K, but we are giving that additional this bonus the course that is generative AI. So altogether, that will be helpful as operation model for the ML applications. And you are working this on the development side also, LLM maps. But that is required some time. But first concentrate on that, like which technologies do you prefer it, and then you can add it additional technology. So how the recruitment team are expecting is multi-skills. If you say that like only one, or if I know that like a basic Python, or if I mean, as a fresher, if you say that like basic Python or basic some packages, they are not satisfied. So they are expecting about it some kind of the process models. Yeah, with the DevOps, and if you say that, okay, I know that the Python programming to implement like a web application side, or to implement it LLM app side, or to support that on MLOps, then that is a more added advantage. Start date is tomorrow itself, and the timings that is 9:30 a.m. But don't miss this next 3 classes. So we are going to discuss that DevOps and what are the different teams and roles and responsibilities, and what are the different tools. That's everything that will be discussed next 2 days about the DevOps. And next day, which will be discussed the MLOps, what are the tools and what are like the flow, what are the challenges we have this in the ML environment, and those challenges to work on that. What is the kind of the solution we are providing that. Yeah, you can pay that installment wise also. We will help you on that, but within the 1 month, you need to pay that. Suppose if you clear that a single time, then we can close this 125K to that 23K single time payment, but 2 times that is 25K. And this 25K within 1 month, you need to clear that. First, like you can go for the 15K and the next 10K. But if you register today, then 23K we can close it that with the single time payment, all these courses. And you will be having that 1 year, the access to all these courses. The timings 9:45 to, 9:30 to 11 a.m. And tomorrow we start about it. That is the June 11th. I mean, today we started almost. Yeah, the main 2 modules, we will cover that within the 4 to 5 months. The 5 months it takes. But the last one, that is LLM maps, that is 1.5 month it takes about it. So once this DevOps and MLOps has been completed, you can start about your resume. And then you can add it about that on the base of the tools which are completing that. You can add it about all these additional packages and additional tools which belong to that. These are all same related. Don't worry about it. They're all like, this is different one, this is different one. No. DevOps extend to that next generation of the technologies, that is MLOps. Yeah, will we have any staff supporting us if stuck or okay? Yes, you can come to the office and you can sit it in the office if you're in the Hyderabad. And yes, we will help you to resolve the issues, all that. Yeah, once this class is over, you can call to me. So tomorrow, next 2 classes, which we are going to have it like understanding the complete DevOps process models, what we are going to learn it and what we are going to do that. And the next day, I'm going to explain about that MLOps engineers, the challenge. I mean, what do we have that existing environment challenges? What is the workflow we have? That workflow to handle that, what is the kind of the role we are going to perform it? That is in the so Thursday, we are going to discuss that. And then on Friday, we are going to discuss that, the importance of the generative AI in the next generation, complete from what is AI, what is ML, what is the deep learning. In that deep learning, what are the different models are available, what is this LLM model. So those are all the points we are going to talk about that. So next 3 or 4 classes, don't miss that. That is very, very important. Then from Monday onwards, we start about that, the basic, the first starting from the Git, GitHub, and AWS services. So all those things which will start in that. But next 3 or 4 classes, don't miss that. Is it clear to everyone? Or any queries, questions, please let me know. And coming to that, the resume process, let me just add it that one more point. So once the course is the completed, and if you are looking about it, any kind of LinkedIn profile optimization and the getting the calls and all those, yeah, we will help you like a top-notch LinkedIn profile, how you can prepare it. And yes, like these days resumes, if you just prepare it and if you try to apply to that, the HR team, it doesn't, it doesn't filter it. So you need to make sure that about your resume is supporting that as per the application tracking system or not. So we will help you to build that about your resume in that ATS supported resume. And then we will help you to build that about your GitHub profile, and as well as to help you like online profile. It is kind of like now these days how it should be is, if you just say that in the Naukri, or if you just say that in the LinkedIn, if you prepare that about your profile, getting the calls is very less case, because there's the competition in the market and all this point. So that is very, very difficult to get that. Even the first level of the filter, that is very, very important in these days. So for that, how you can build about your personal brand. So what are the projects we are going to talk with that? All the projects, yes, suppose let's talk it like a Terraform, the which you have worked with that. Yes, this Terraform code, how you can prepare about your GitHub profile to showcase what is the kind of the work you have done. So in the LinkedIn profile, you need to show that all these the like work which you have done, whether it is yes, the fresher also. Like suppose in your resume, you are going to market about your project, right? College project. But if they ask you that's about the college project, how you have done or have implemented any code, these days the proof of concept they are asking that. That proof of concept for about your projects, like a DevOps project, MLOps projects, and as well as generative AI projects, how you can showcase that in our GitHub. That is, we will help you. And as well as how you can set the goal. Goal is very, very important. So we give some templates to track it about your profile, and how do you need to plan it to apply the jobs, and how do you can go ahead like to get into the more connections with recruitment team and all that, how you can approach it. And we give some templates which you can use it whenever you are communicating with the HR team. Yeah, preparing and researching the jobs, and how you can build about the better network. This will be helpful about entire IT career. This is not just one day or next like 1 year. So how long you would like to continue in your the industry? Yes, how you can build about your portfolio with a better network. So if you have the more network, automatically there is a possibility to get the calls. Yeah, how you can prepare for the job interviews, and how you can do that salary negotiations, and how to manage that office politics. Yes, like a tactics also is very, very important during that interview and after joining that in the organization. So all those points also, that's we will help you. And we have that these are all like recorded based sessions. If you need the recorded based sessions, where you will get it with the 1500 something, where you can prepare and you can do about yourself. Or if you need the classes, and where we will charge it around the 5000, and we take that on the Saturdays, the special classes on this, how you can prepare about your LinkedIn profile and online personal brand and all this stuff. So is it clear about that? This is the one more approach, which is the where will help you on that, how you can get the job. And we have internal about our references also, but that is something like which we can say that references. If you are okay with that on this, yes, we'll help you in that process as well as. If you have that like a proper experience, and if you are like a fresher, yeah, we have the types with that other companies, and we'll help you, but charges and all the things that will be discussed before processing. And if you're okay, you can do that. You can take the help on it. Yeah, so that is about the overall concepts. Are you clear about these points? Just let me know if you have any queries, questions for today. Yeah, fill the form, which I have shared this in the link. And this is the office number, which I'm just sharing that. If you have any queries, you can contact that. Yeah, let me know that if you have any queries, questions. And tomorrow we'll start about that. Yes, what is the DevOps and what are the different process models which we have, and what are the different tools that we are going to have it. Yeah, what are the challenges in the DevOps? The challenges, how you can implement it as a DevOps engineer. What are the kind of the roles we are going to perform it? Yes, all that we'll start it one by one. Don't miss those classes. They're all very, very important. Yeah, let me know that any queries, questions. Otherwise, type that the good, I'm good in the chat window. Then we'll end up for today. Type that I'm good if you're good with this. Or if you have any query, just let me know. Yeah, I see that's good, 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 good. Okay, thank you. That's all from my side for today. And let's join this tomorrow at sharply 9:30. And we'll continue that starting about the DevOps. Yeah, this weekend, this week entire, we are going to work with that, understanding DevOps challenges, MLOps, yes, challenges, and generative AI, the objectives. yeah, getting that the overview of that, all the pictures of what we are going to learn it. And Monday onwards is AWS, which we started. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all. So I hope you enjoyed this session and you got that the understanding about, yes, about your state point of view, yes, which technologies are recommended and cost pricing models, and as well as the objectives. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to sign off for today.